happens when you get into debt.
I'll do what I want. I will punch you straight through that window.
And you can't.
I don't know where I can't go.
Or won't pay it back.
I can't pay it. I can't pay it.
We meet the High Court enforcement agents who are pushed to their limits.
You think you can tear my family apart?
Dealing with desperate debtors.
Please open the door.
In dramatic situations.
I'll break your glasses!
We meet the people who are losing their homes.
We've got nowhere to go.
You can't leave it because if that pipe comes off, it's like threatening.
And their possessions.
It'd be alright to tow him behind the transit.
Because whatever happens, if you can't pay,
Get your hands off me.
they'll take it away. In the last 5 years, the number of evictions across the UK has risen by over 50%. The most common reason is non-payment of rent. And more landlords are turning to the courts for help. High Court enforcement agent Stuart McCracken and trainee Ian Taylor work across England and Wales. They carry out evictions and collect debts.
Living the dream, mate.
Help me just, mate.
Today, they're in Harper Hay, Manchester, with a High Court writ to repossess a rental property.
We got a possession order. Miss Mandy Jameson and one other, 11 Windsor Road. Barbara Windsor Road. Get out of my pub!
The tenants, Mandy and her son Lewis, owe £8,000 in rent arrears. But Stuart and Ian aren't here to collect the money. Their job is to evict them today.
Oh, great, the coppers are here as well. Have they been called for us, or is just the fact the area's a bit... This is interesting.
This will be one of the toughest evictions Stuart and Ian have ever faced.
11, there it is there on the left. Oh, with a broken window.
The landlord's there to meet the agents.
Hello there, you alright? Nick, pleasure to meet you, mate.
Hi.
Are the police and assistants with us?
Yeah.
Are they? Right, okay.
Yeah.
One of those ones, is it?
When?
One of those ones.
Yeah.
When you pull up to a job and you find that the police are already there waiting for you to do the eviction, it does send the alarm bells ringing. It makes you think immediately, who am I dealing with and what's going to happen? Well, officers, you alright? Yeah, not too bad. We weren't aware of any police presence, you see, so that's why we were like, hang on, what's going on here?
Oh, right, okay.
That's myself. ID yourself there. Do you know of the address at all or anything like that?
No, not personally, no.
No, okay, no problem. We'll knock on and,
Yeah, see how we get on.
Mandy and her son Lewis are the official tenants. But landlord Nick believes her other grown-up children are also living there.
someone at the top window. Hello? Hello there. Hello there, you okay?
Yeah.
My name's Mr. McCracken, High Court Enforcement Agent. We've got a possession to take up the property today. Okay, so what I'll do is now, I'll just give you a copy of the written possession. Okay, I can give you 45 minutes to try and collect what you need.
The tenant, Mandy, spots Nick, the landlord.
Yeah. Can I have a word?
Yeah.
You alright, go in.
Come here. Sort this out. Come here.
You haven't paid since Louis hasn't paid since February, you haven't paid since March, and some people think it's October.
Yeah.
Hey, so why have a painting side?
Nick decides to wait outside while the police deal with Mandy's son, Lewis.
Calm down. Come on, mate.
But another son, Dylan, spots Nick, the landlord, from the upstairs window.
You're a muppet and I'm not wasting your fat. Nick, how can you do this? You're not even up to you. Why didn't you let us know then, you weirdo? What's your problem? Why are you not telling us nothing? I told you. Just wait for all this to come to us instead. I told you
It turns out that there's an ongoing dispute about some repairs to the property that the family claim Nick the landlord has not carried out.
Explaining the situation.
Mandy tells the police that Nick agreed in court that the family could withhold the rent until the repairs were completed.
You know what the court was? He sorts the repairs out, I sort the rent out. He's not stuck to his agreement.
You need to stick to the court order for what you want us to do, Nick. Nick, guess what? I'm blow you up, you muppet.
Yeah, that's why it's called Mr. Prick. Fuck off.
This ain't happening. I'm not
5
leaving
minutes
this house.
to get me stuff and get out.
You can't remove me from this house. You will not get this house back the way it is. I will put every single window through and I'll set the full thing on fire and you will see it burn to dust. Alright?
In this job, you can't be scared of the duties that you've got to do. That's the reason why we are professional people. I'm there to execute the writ that I've been given. And that's what we're there to do.
But Lewis makes his family's position clear.
You're not fucking moving none of us out of the gaffney. Hey, guarantee not a one or two step me out of this house.
With tensions rising, the police need to make Mandy and her family understand that they must leave today.
The court have now made a decision that the bailiffs have explained to you. Okay?
Yeah.
So what you need to do now is get your things together, alright?
It is a shock. They're obviously upset. They don't want to be losing their home because they've been there for a while. They haven't paid the rent, so we're here to evict them. And that's obviously been met with some uproar.
Upstairs, Dylan is getting more agitated.
You'll see this house in flames before I leave this house. You will not see this house in full again. Okay? Listen to me. Stop fucking blowing up with your little muppet.
This is working out well.
The threats are getting more serious.
I'll rip you apart.
Stuart calls the office.
Oh, worst one I've been on, mate. Without a shadow of a doubt. Hard as nails. Everyone's out in the street, so obviously we're up against it at the moment.
It's an explosive situation.
I'll fucking tear you apart.
The agents are now under pressure to keep this eviction on track before the threats turn to real violence.
Don't you think you can tear my family apart? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen one bit.
Stuart McCracken and Ian Taylor were in Harper Hay, Manchester, to carry out an eviction.
11, there it is, there on the left.
Oh, the broken window.
The tenants hadn't paid rent for 6 months and owed £8,000. The police were already on hand.
Hello? Hello, are you okay?
Mandy, the tenant, wanted to negotiate with Nick, the landlord. But her sons had a very different reaction.
So why am I painting that? You fucking idiot.
The family claimed that Nick had broken an agreement made in court to carry out some repairs.
I'll put every single window through and I'll set the full thing on fire and you will see it burn to dust. Alright?
Now, the agents have got to get this eviction back on track. But Mandy's son Dylan is still making serious threats against the landlord.
Listen to me. Stop fucking blowing up with your little muppet. I'll rip you apart. Just go away.
The police advise Nick to leave the street in the hope that this will calm things down.
He should not be a landlord.
I take it he's got a few properties, has he?
Yeah, he owns half of Brentford Street, but half of them are well-known drug users and all that lot.
So if we can speak to you for a second.
With the landlord out of sight, Ian tries to get the eviction underway.
You get 7 clear days to leave your belongings here. To leave them here for up to 7 clear days.
Leaving my belongings in his pocket, they all get locked up.
No, listen, if you listen to me. We take an inventory of goods and photographs of every single item that you leave in this
Yeah,
house.
but his properties are always getting broken into when they get left, and there's no way of leaving stuff in it.
Mandy is still reluctant to leave. The police step in.
You need to start thinking about getting some clothes on and taking the items that need to be.
We've got nowhere to go, we've got nowhere to put our stuff.
Well, no, I appreciate that. You will have to go down to the council today, the town hall, and seek urgent accommodation.
Sometimes you do need the police there in assistance because it just gives you that little bit more support that you need to make the tenants aware that no matter what happens or what threats you're going to throw, the property we will be taking possession of.
I can't go take her first.
The police seem to have convinced Mandy she has to leave.
You know, like you said, I've got 7 days.
Yeah.
How do I come back into the property though and get the stuff?
We'll leave you our details, give us a quick ring and we can arrange
Do we
to
not
come
go
back.
through Nick, the landlord?
You can do, yeah, if you feel that's better. It's entirely up to yourself.
It's not better than deal.
Okay, well we can leave you our details and then you can ring us and we can liaise with him. You know, it got quite intense to start off with, but if you can't take that sort of behaviour, you can't deal with it, then you can't do the job as simple as that. At the end of the day, you just need to let people vent. They've all vented now. They're now dealing with the police and ourselves.
Lewis claims Nick the landlord has ignored their requests to fix problems with the property, including the broken window.
There was the front window repair. He did stick a massive board on which made it look like a derelict house, so we took the board down, and that's proof there that he's not come and fixed that repair. They made an agreement in court that if he'd done the repairs on our property, we'd pay the rent on the property, and now he's not done the repairs on the property that he told us he would do.
But Nick maintains that he has carried out the agreed repairs.
They never complained about repairs until the day of the first court hearing. We agreed to do them. She needed to say she didn't let us in on the appointed time. Eventually we did get in, we did do the repairs. She said everything was fine, and it wasn't until Monday of this week when I happened to be walking down the street, she then decided there was extra repairs. That was the first time I heard about them. I offered to do them there and then.
Half an hour after the agents first turned up, Mandy has started to pack.
It's emotional, but what can I do? I can't understand how a landlord does not stick to his agreement at court and then you get thrown out. Just don't understand it. Very, very emotional. I just don't even know where to begin. I just can't think.
Stuart gives Nick an update.
How's it going, guys? You alright?
I got attacked.
Where at?
I got attacked by a lad on a bicycle.
Right, okay.
But Stuart has been followed round the corner by a friend of the family who's been staying in the house.
Are you going to leave? Or do we need to repeat it before?
We need to repeat it before.
Do we?
I don't know, mate, we just need to do what we need to do.
When you get the house, you're going to need to put a lot of work in it to get someone to move in there because there's a lot of holes in the walls, a lot of plugs missing, and a lot of the wiring's been removed as well.
Do you want to just go pull up a bit further down there? Because it just seems to be inflaming the situation with you being here and the tenants at the minute, okay?
Yeah,
Just do us a favour, just go down the line.
If you think that we're going to leave the house and let us sort this out, you're absolutely crazy.
Oh god. From what I can see, this street and the street next door and the street after that are all run by the landlord. So something like this is just going to infatuate things.
The agents have now been at the house for an hour and a half.
Sorry to rush you, but going to be long.
Another 20 minutes.
About another 20 minutes. Yeah, sorry about that.
Usually on a job like this, we usually give 45 minutes, but due to the hostility, best thing to do is give them time enough to get what they need. To do this job, people say that you have to be made of stone and you've got no heart and everything like that, which is far from that. This is their life. This is their house. There's photos everywhere. It's a proper house. It's a home for this family.
Mandy has no idea where her family are going to sleep tonight.
I'm feeling a bit lost now anyway, I know that, and I'm feeling more hurt now because I feel like my family's going to be separated now. And that's one thing I didn't want, because we've been a close, tight family for a long time now.
Once the aggression had boiled down, and they actually realised that, yeah, we're going to have to leave. They were really, really, really approachable. It just makes you realise you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right. Everything's closed and locked.
The eviction is now complete.
Sorted.
I don't even really know what to say. All I can really do now is get on with find a new place to stay and finding a better landlord, someone who's going to look after his tenants and not treat him with disrespect.
Nick isn't sure what state the house will be in when he gets it back.
I can't get into the house for another week, which gives everyone plenty of time to smash it to pieces. Perhaps owning houses in Harper A is a mistake because people believe they can live in a house without paying rent, and when they discover they can't, it's a surprise to them.
Mandy and her family are now homeless. It will be up to the council to provide them with emergency accommodation for the night. Rents in the private sector have risen by a third over the past decade, and the number of tenants living in poverty has doubled as more and more renters struggle to keep up with payments. High Court enforcement agents Brian O'Shaughnessy and Delroy Anglin are in Corby, Northamptonshire.
Del? Yes, me old cocker. What we got next, mate? We are going to make our way to see a Miss Maria Almeida.
Maria owes £3,000 to a firm of letting agents.
21.
If Maria can't pay today, the agents have the right to seize goods to offset the debt. But this job isn't going to be straightforward.
Thank you. So you know how to block 21, eh? Yeah. I'm not from Maria. Yeah, Maria Almeida. I'm a High Court enforcement agent. We're looking for this person at 21. If you're the new occupiers, can I just see your council tax bill so we can stop anybody else from coming? Is that all right? Excellent stuff, thank you.
The woman living at the address claims she is not Maria, but Del wants proof.
Oh, excellent stuff. What's the inquiry form? Is your name on it? Oh, let's have a look. Oh, well done, that's the one, isn't it?
But just as Del is about to leave, Helena, the new tenant, makes a startling admission.
Yeah, but Maria Almeida's my mum.
Sorry?
Maria Almeida's my mum.
That's your mother?
Yes.
What'd you say?
She's just a legal woman, but she's my mum.
Can you get her on the phone?
Don't you worry now.
Oh, nothing to be worried, nothing to be too worried about.
Helena calls her mother.
Eu tenho aqui duas pessoas que me vieram. Estou aqui em casa para tomar a tua procura.
Thank you. Hello? Hello, Maria. Well, this is the address we had from you from the High Court, madam. But we need to collect this money. Are you in a position to pay today?
Maria says she doesn't owe money to anyone.
Okay. All right.
And that it must be a mistake. But Del wants to discuss it face to face. So Helena agrees to take the agents to meet her mother.
It doesn't happen very often. People, take you to debtors and stuff, so I think that's a plus sign for them. Well, it's a plus sign that they want to resolve it.
Maria is waiting for them.
You're Maria, yes? We've got an unresolved matter with a letting company.
It's my landlord before, yeah.
You say that you owe money.
For what?
Unpaid rent? Did you owe them rent?
I pay your rent, I pay everything.
Maria claims her former landlord has already taken her to court and the debt's been settled.
How much did you pay?
Oh, I pay a lot of money, I don't know. I go for court, I pay everything in court. And for these people, I pay everything. For this man,
Listen.
I do for you.
Listen.
Okay, sorry.
If you've paid everything, there is nothing to worry about, okay? But we need to check, okay, with the company that you have paid.
Maria is adamant she doesn't owe any money, but the High Court writ says otherwise. Brian turns detective.
But what we want to do is, she states that she went to court a couple of months ago, she's paid it. So I want to clarify that and see if the claimant has had their money. We'd rather check something's been paid and us not have to be here, you know? And then everybody's happy.
A few minutes later, Brian's office calls.
Hello, bro. Afraid we can't find anything on it at all.
There's no record of the debt being paid, and the office can't get hold of the client.
Oh, mate, what?
The agents are facing a dilemma. Maria's claims appear genuine, but until they have proof that the debt has been settled, they must proceed and collect the £3,000 owed. But Maria says she can't pay.
I'm very sick. 1 year I'm not working. I have the problem in my heart.
What we need to do as enforcement agents is use common sense, a little discretion, and we ask for evidence, we ask questions.
Dell needs to deal with this situation sensitively. He wants to assess Maria's circumstances to see whether she is in a position to pay.
I need to see how she's living so that I can come to, in my own head, I need to come to an arrangement of how this money is going to be paid.
I don't like somebody going inside my house.
I'm a High Court enforcement. Show me.
Okay, just one person.
Maria lives in a house belonging to her son. She says she's lived here since she was evicted from her previous address a year earlier.
I've lived over there 12 years.
Yes.
And after 12 years, the landlord sold the house and put everybody outside on the street.
Right.
And I've lost everything.
Okay.
Helena gets her mother's solicitor on the phone to try and clarify the situation.
Now, how much was the payment, do you know? Okay. And was that in full and final settlement, or was that for everything?
It seems that Maria has settled a debt with the letting agency, but there's bad news. The writ the agents have today is for another claim from the same company.
It looks like this is a separate case. She has no idea what it's for. I don't believe she's lying to me. She's an elderly woman, she doesn't own anything. And to pay money out that you ain't got really for something you don't know what it's about, well, sounds a bit harsh to me.
Dell and Brian decide to give Maria some extra time to get the debt resolved.
What we will do, we will set an arrangement. I won't do your first payment until 30 days' time. So let's fill out the paperwork. You then have 30 days before your first arranged payment for you to try and get it resolved. We've done this job a long time. We can pretty much determine people's situation. We then have to work together to get the best outcome for everybody. Listen, these things happen, don't they? These situations happen, and that's part of our job is to understand that, yeah?
My mum is not going to get in trouble, I promise you.
I don't like the troubles.
Because of that. Money now is not important. And your mum, the only thing, the most important thing in your life should be. 10 years ago, she was the one helping, you know? Now it's our turn.
You really know who your friends and family are at times of need. It's amazing. It gives me a little faith in humanity, to be quite honest.
High Court enforcement agents are used to handling sensitive situations, and they're not easily shocked by what they find behind closed doors. But in their next case, Stuart and Ian can't believe what's inside this family home. Over a third of all landlords in the UK had their properties damaged by tenants last year. With over 400,000 landlords affected, property repairs are now the leading cause of tenant disputes. Transport Enforcement Agent Stuart McCracken and trainee Ian Taylor are heading to Blackpool to carry out an eviction.
Hopefully we'll get this done quick and we'll have time for a ride on a donkey.
You can take your weight anyway.
I could straddle too.
The landlord, Mark Dufour, is waiting for them at the property with a locksmith.
Hello there, you alright?
Yes, that's about thank you.
Is there anybody in at the moment, do you know?
No idea at all.
Is there any story about it, anything like that, do you know?
Just that they haven't paid rent for 6 months.
No.
Nothing at all, keep telling lies.
Yeah.
They've paid, it's the bank's fault. Everybody's fault except theirs.
Okay, let's get cracked on and get it over and done with.
Thank you.
But the agents aren't here to collect the £3,000 rent arrears.
The lights are on. Yeah, done a knock.
They're here to evict the tenant, Louise Cornell, today.
Yeah, is that Louise? Louise, we're High Court enforcement agents. Alfie, get in the kitchen now.
I guess I'm sorry.
Right, okay, Louise, we're High Court enforcement agents, okay? We've got a writ of possession to take over the property. You need to open the door, Louise, because we've got a locksmith here that's going to open it if you don't. Hello. Hello there. Right, there's no need to panic. Honestly, there's no need to panic. Okay, we've simply been asked by a landlord just to take over the property today. It's alright, don't worry.
I don't understand if I'm simply just not paying my fucking rent.
Yeah.
I'm training to be a social worker at university in England. I'm not a bad person.
No, that's not what we think. When we talk, it's not what we think.
I've had my student loans from already by now, but I've had to enroll late. And I said, please, can you just give me till next week when my student loan comes through?
Yeah.
And then I'm happy to pay what's outstanding myself.
Louise claims she has tried to pay her rent, but her bank didn't process the payments.
I've been trying to sort it out for absolutely for months.
Okay.
And I've just been no one's listened to me, and I've just been getting nowhere.
Well, the issue we've got today is we're here to take over the property, I'm afraid, Louise. Okay.
Please, for the love of God, just give me till
Nothing we
next
can do. We've been...
Can I ask
Look, it's not, we're here from the High Court now. Okay, so we're here to take over the property.
Louise is clearly shocked. With 2 children, the agents need to try and calm her down and help her understand the situation.
Are the children in the house at the moment? Okay. The council have to reaccommodate you if there is no way they're going to put you on the street. They will put you into emergency accommodation.
Yeah. What you need to do in the next 45 minutes is collect what you need just for tonight, okay? And then you can arrange to come back in the next 7 days to collect the rest of the goods. Take him with you.
I cancel. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
Of course they will. They're not going to say no to you because they've got a dog. There's no, Louise, there's no need to panic. Honestly, there's no need to panic at all. What you need to do, Louise, you need to start thinking clearly and try and get things arranged, alright?
Louise begins to collect her belongings. Mark, the landlord, has been trying to get Louise to pay the rent for months without success.
Basically, we just have no money, nothing paid at all. He's been promising and saying that the rent has been paid and that it's the bank's fault and the bank hasn't sent it. And then we've asked for proof and there's been no proof coming. Yesterday I received through the post a court summons for the council tax which hasn't been paid. So that's something else to deal with. So I've done everything I can. I feel terrible. It's not something I've ever done, evicting. I've never done this. But when they just don't pay it, I have to keep paying the mortgage. Something has to happen. Hopefully I'll find a better tenant, and hopefully the house isn't in too bad a condition.
Mark hasn't been in the house since it was rented out 9 months earlier. But when the agents start taking an inventory of goods, they discover that the property is in a shocking state. It's now down to Stuart to break the news to Mark.
It's a nice session outside, isn't it? Well, obviously not in its current state.
I see a washing machine in the middle of the hallway, so... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Louise is trying to gather the essentials for herself and her children.
I would offer you a hand, but I'm not allowed to touch anything.
You do come across people that are dearly struggling, but people need to remember that the claimant is also struggling as well. Not every landlord has 30 properties and millions of pounds worth in the bank. It could be somebody like you or me. And I know that I couldn't afford to pay for 2 mortgages.
An hour after the agents first arrived, Louise leaves. The eviction is complete.
Brace yourself.
It's time for Mark to see the house for himself.
Look at the state of this. Wow. I don't know if the animal eats there and they eat there. I have no idea. That's just horrendous. I almost want to cry. Wow. Look at the state of this. There's dog mess everywhere out there. And on the floor. Oh, God. Oh my God.
Mark has got his house back, but getting it ready to be re-let will take some time.
I want to get started getting rid, but I don't want to touch that stuff. No.
Well, if any issues, give me a ring. All right.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure working with
Thanks
you.
for your
All right,
professional.
See you later.
So, thank you. I knew it was going to be bad, but I can't believe that people this day and age live like that. I just can't believe it. And then the thing is, it isn't about money, really. It makes me very sad. It makes me very sad.
Research shows that personal debt could reach £2.5 trillion in the UK by 2020. Adults under 35 years old are the hardest hit. They're responsible for nearly half of Britain's personal debt. Hoddesdon, Hertfordshire. Brian O'Shaughnessy and Delroy Anglin are on their way to collect a debt of £2,700. It's owed by a carpet fitter to an old employer.
Right, what have we got next up? We're going to see Mr. Sergio Curcio. He owes money to Multi-Floor Company Limited.
If the debtor can't or won't pay, Brian and Dell have the right to seize goods to offset the debt.
This is the road here, main road. What number do you want?
29, 27. It's up there. Hello.
Hey.
Looking for Sergio?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, you there?
Well, you can't see you. I'm a high court enforcement agent, sir.
Yeah, can I help you?
Yes, sir. Are you Sergio?
Yes.
Hello, Sergio. We've got a high court writ.
Can you come back in like a little while?
Why is that, sir?
Because I'm not ready.
What do you mean you're not ready?
Well, I've just got out the box, so I'm not ready.
Well, we've got to resolve this issue. We can't come back. So it's easier to try and resolve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio.
Thank you, Sergio.
Sergio lives with his parents.
Hello.
Okay, so The reason we're here, do you know Multi-Floor Co Limited? Now we're here to collect £2,767.36.
Right, I haven't got the money to make that payment.
You haven't? What have you got? We're here to remove goods if you can't, to cover the debt.
What goods?
Whatever goods that belong to you or value. I don't know what it's about. What's it about?
I did some work for this company over 10 years ago. A few years later, they put some money into my account.
Yeah.
If I ain't notified it was from them.
It seems that Sergio had been overpaid by an employer, and he'd agreed to pay them back in installments.
Because I was late a few times, she kind of put an injunction against me or something.
County court judgment, you mean? They went
Yeah.
to court.
Sergio was paying the money back at £100 a month, but he stopped paying a year ago.
It'd have been easier if he'd kept to the arrangement. It's gone to the High Court now. We're here to enforce it.
Interesting. I haven't got that money today.
I would suggest you do what you can, see if you can get it.
As Sergio's showing no sign of paying, the agents need to start assessing what assets they might be able to seize.
Okay, let's have a look around. Let him have a think.
We're looking for goods of value that we might be able to seize or take to reduce the debt.
belong to him. This is my house.
But Sergio's father needs to prove that the goods belong to him.
Well, it may be your house, sir, but in the event that I don't see receipts for these things, then that would be a problem.
I bought this thing 20, 30 years ago.
We're not at that stage yet, are we?
How's your digging out?
But he's living here at the moment, so at the end of the day...
Yeah, I mean, you can take all these things in his
Well, we don't know what his things are. We don't know what he
Well,
has.
look, he's a corrupt. He has nothing which belongs to him.
The pressure is on. There's a lifetime's worth of possessions in the house. But if Sergio's father can't prove they belong to him, he risks losing them to pay off his son's debt. Del and Brian have come to collect £2,700 that Sergio Curcio owes to his old employer. But as Sergio failed to come up with the cash, the agents started looking for assets.
We're looking for goods of value that we might be able to seize.
You know, nothing which belongs to him.
But Brian suspects there is one valuable asset that might belong to Sergio.
You drive at the moment?
For what? What do you drive?
A van.
Is it a work van?
Yeah.
Is it yours or company's?
Company.
Okay, is it a white one out there, is it? When I'm in a debtor's house, I'm always on the lookout for any assets or any keys. When I see keys lying about and there's car keys on them, you know, it's cha-ching. I saw the keys in there, so I'm having a look. I think this is a van. This is privately owned, I think. He said it was a work van, but I don't believe him. I think it's his own van. He's self-employed. You're self-employed. Why would the company give you a van? Hello, Nikki. Can I get a HPI check done, please?
Brian calls the office to see if there's any outstanding finance on the van.
Yeah.
As the van is free of finance, Brian can seize it and sell it to offset the debt, providing it belongs to Sergio. But inside, Del is still trying to get the debt settled in cash.
We retired, we live on a minimum pension.
I'm not asking you to pay it. I'm asking him to pay it. But if you want to help this son out, please feel free.
Well, I've been here many times before, but I'm not in a position to do now.
With no cash being offered to settle the debt, Del now uses the van for leverage.
My mate's hell bent on taking your van.
If the van wasn't bought by me.
Makes no odds to me. I will take the van.
What?
It turns out that Sergio's father bought the van for him.
You bought it for him, so therefore it's not yours, it's his.
What?
It's not the first time Dad's helped him out financially.
You can only help them so much, you know. I mean, you should never happen to him this thing, you know, listen.
When you got kids, they think they know it. And I've got 3 big sons. They're all bigger than me, and they all know best. They all say they know best. We do what we can.
Despite the prospect of losing his van, Sergio still isn't making any effort to raise funds.
Well, like I said, I can't get that money today. It's not going to happen.
You said you can't pay any money today. That would be unfortunate if you can't, because it means we'd remove the van. See what you can do, Sergio, because regardless of what, if we take the van, you're going to have to replace it. It's going to cost you, isn't it? So you might as well try and sort of get the money to clear the bit.
The agents decide to turn up the pressure and clamp the van.
But I want to push the right buttons. He's a bit manana, a bit laid back. And that's obviously the asset here. I'd like to see people make an effort and try and resolve it, you know? He hasn't even picked up the phone yet to see if he can get it paid. Hopefully, he'll come out and say I got the money.
But after 10 minutes, Sergio has made no attempt to pay.
I think we'll be removing. I think his son has not been listening to him. His dad's warned him. I think the time has come for son to learn the lesson of life. And I think Dad, having bought the van for him, is not likely to bail him out of this.
After 20 minutes, the agents are still waiting.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, I need you to come and get in, mate, if you can.
With payment looking unlikely, Brian decides to call for a recovery vehicle to take Sergio's work van away.
Ford Transit, short wheelbase, short top. It's difficult to resolve matters with some people that are down on their luck, but they need to show a little willing to resolve it. And if you're not going to show willing, then why should we? Off you go, sunshine.
We've got a vehicle coming to take the van, just on this way.
I need to take my stuff off the van, mate.
Yeah. Does he have another job to do then, or? No?
Sometimes he works one day, 1 week, sometimes another week he doesn't do anything. He doesn't pay us nothing.
There's no way to live, is there? There's no way to live.
Taking goods away is always a last resort, but Sergio has given them no choice.
I think we'll get about 1,500 quid for it, if we're lucky. People think, because you visit once and you remove something, it's the end of it. It's not the case. If the money isn't collected in full, then we'll be back. And if he buys another van, then we'll take that as well.
Next time, Brian and Del meet a company director in denial.
Yeah. Just check with Billy then. Don't lie to me.
Paul and Steve get a nasty shock.
Wow. There's condensation everywhere.
And the agents are caught in the middle of a bitter tenant dispute.
We want you out. Any talk against me like that, I'll smash his head.
Catch all that new next Wednesday at 9. And coming up this week, witness man's best friend taking their first steps and see the world through their eyes as we discover the secret world of puppies here on Channel 5. Don't miss that brand new tomorrow at 9. Next tonight, new Nightmare Tenants, Slum Landlords.